Hey guys, it's Seneca Williams at the Conquer Network, and we're doing a quick live, myself and Kim from Creative Digital Systems, because it's the holiday season and we are getting you ready, mind and business. So, for those of you who don't know, the Conquer Network and myself, Seneca Williams, what we do is we help entrepreneurs work through building their mindset, building their confidence so that they can be their best in business. So thank you for joining in. In my background, I'm an entrepreneur therapist and I am a coach, and I support entrepreneurs who are dealing with business anxiety, social media anxiety, business burnout, all those kinds of things that, keep you from showing up the way that you need to online. So if you're here and you're an entrepreneur, type a 1 in the chat. I want to see who's an entrepreneur, and also shout out your business and where you're located. All right, so I see that Kim is here. I'm going to bring her in. All right, let's see, send request. Okay. Kim now, she's from Creative Digital Systems and she is a phenomenal marketer. She also works with coaches, therapists, digital thought leaders. So she's the right person for us to be talking to. All right, hey Kim.
Hello.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. So I'm so glad that we did this. I know it was a little impromptu, but sometimes it works out that way, and I'm excited for a collaboration with you. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, it's all good. Just setting up my tripod, but we can continue, so I'm happy to be here.
Okay, awesome. All right, so we have an entrepreneur here. So I want to share a little bit of my background in, why this workshop is helpful. So when I started business, you were there for pretty much most of the journey. 2017 was like my relaunch to business. And I remember having a really hard time going live. Like, I would have never done this in 2017. Even though everyone was telling me to go live, people were telling me to do videos, people were saying you need to show up and be visible online. I just couldn't do it. My head would hurt, my stomach would hurt, I would get like jittery, I would start questioning everything I was about to say. I would start, overthinking and overanalyzing. I didn't like how I looked. It was like the list, goes on and on and on. So I wouldn't show up on social media. Now, if you're watching this and you can relate to that, let me know if this is you. Like, yes, I have like some social media anxiety. I don't like to be visible. Let me know if that's you in the chat. So here's the thing. The holiday season comes up. It's time to promote for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And I'm not showing up. I'm not promoting. I don't know what to say. And what I ended up doing was trying to like overcompensate and just like post stuff. And then I just gave up. And I was like, all right, I'll just join sales next year. So that's why we're here today, folks. We are going to be talking about the things that come up that just hold you back from getting that holiday sales income that you're looking for. So, hey, Blended Black family, welcome. So I didn't go into bios or anything, so I'll go ahead and let you introduce. I think you got your tripod set up and everything.
Yes. Yes, I can like be hands-free because I don't like to. Oh, but yeah. So my name is Kimberly Mays. I am the founder of Creative Digital Systems, formerly Foolishly Creative. So we did like a little rebrand. And I help coaches, speakers, authors, digital thought leaders really systematize their business, streamline their sales and marketing automation to really help them be able to communicate better with their ideal clients. And like Seneca said, it's not easy to show up on social media. It's not easy to just put yourself out there because there's so much content out there. There's so many people who have been doing it for a very long time. So you don't really see what goes on behind the scenes. You don't really know how long they've been doing it or what team they have. So we get tripped up in perfectionism. I know myself because my first live stream, even my first video, my first recorded video, I think I actually cried. And that was like in 2017 because I couldn't get anything right. And so what ended up happening was it was just muscle memory. There's just no like trick or secret to it. You just have to do it. And the more you do it, the more you get comfortable with it. But yeah, I can definitely relate to that. Social media, even pressing send on an email can be terrifying. So I understand that and I get it. So, what Seneca is great at is she's great at tapping into what that resistance is, what that feels like, and knowing that it's okay and normal. And then I just handle all the geeky stuff after that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I love that we complement each other in that way,
Mm-hmm.
because what
Yeah.
I see happening is I'm usually the last resort. Like after people start their business and they've tried
Mm-hmm.
everything and they've invested in like the business coaching and the marketing and the tools and the tips and the tricks. So they've invested in all that stuff and they're like, wait, I've invested like, and I'm not even exaggerating, up to $25,000
Mm-hmm.
in building their business and coaching, and they're like, something's just not working. I'm still not making any money. I'm still not showing up. And I'm the last resort because they're like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
well, let's see if it's my mindset.
Yeah.
And at that point, I'm like, let's tap in and see what happens. And even, how we're doing this live now,
Mm-hmm.
some people will not go live because they're afraid no one is going to show up. And that
Mm-hmm.
stops them from, doing the live.
Yeah, absolutely. And that used to stop me too. And so one thing I recommend to people is get used to talking to an empty room because social media is so great is it'll show your video later to people who weren't there live. So you always want to engage people who might be watching the replay, tell them to do something when they watch the replay. So most of my lives, people aren't there when I broadcast. They watch it later. So don't be afraid to talk to an empty room. Just show up just as if somebody was watching you, just have that same energy. And it just takes a lot of practice.
Yeah, I agree
Mm-hmm.
with that. Something that I did for myself before I started helping others was I just pretended like I was having a conversation with someone that I
Mm-hmm.
knew, like someone
Yeah.
close. So I
Mm-hmm.
felt like my authentic self and I didn't sound as robotic because some of my first lives were horrible. Like I sounded like I was reading something. I probably was reading something like a script,
Yeah.
but I
Mm-hmm.
sounded horrible. And, I'm not saying that in a bad way. Start wherever you start. We're trying
Mm-hmm.
to meet you where you are. But what
Yeah.
I'm saying is, it wasn't until I put myself in a position of,
Mm-hmm.
what if I was really helping someone that was sitting right
Mm-hmm.
across from me? How would I be
Yeah.
talking to them? That's what I started doing. So I would imagine my friend was sitting in front of
Mm-hmm.
me. I would imagine I was talking to my mom or, talking to my colleague, just like we were talking face to face. And that made it a lot easier and it made me show up. And about doing lives when no one is there,
Mm-hmm.
let me tell you, in 2020, I was not really on social media posting anything at all, but all my previous lives were on there and previous blogs
Mm-hmm.
or articles, and people were reaching out to me based off of the content that
Yeah.
was there from like
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Like, I love hearing when people say, "Hey, Kim, I've seen your blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, really? That's some recycled stuff that I've done. So I really like the live format too, because I don't have to worry about video editing. I don't have to worry about, you know, file sizes or anything. It's just going live. Because I also do a lot of pre-recorded videos too. So sometimes I like to switch it up. But yeah, and something you also said that resonated too is like how you're the last resort. Because I think when we go into business, we don't really see that side. We see the glamour like, okay, well, you know, they look great on camera. I can do this. How hard could it be? And then a lot of coaching programs, business coaching programs, they do focus on mindset. But I noticed like a couple of the ones that I was in was just like, just go live, just do it anyway, just press record. But they are so used to doing that that maybe they don't really know how it feels or remember how it feels to somebody who's brand new to the technology and brand new to being on camera and afraid of making a mistake. So yeah, I totally understand that.
Yeah. Or
Mm-hmm.
they may not even be like that personality style because
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that not only am I an introvert
Mm-hmm.
and I've had to work through social anxiety, I
Mm-hmm.
work
Yeah.
with a lot of clients who don't actually recognize that they're introverts or they deal with social
Mm-hmm.
anxiety. So they could be working with coaches that are like super extroverted
Mm-hmm.
and like, like, yeah,
Yeah.
let's do
Mhm.
this. And, high energy, you know what I'm talking about? Like they're
Yeah.
yelling and they might be thinking,
Mhm.
well, that's how I'm supposed to just naturally be. And what I love about our energy is you're real calm and chill.
Mhm.
I've actually never seen you like amped up. And for the
Yeah.
most part, like I have my moments. Like sometimes
Mhm.
I'm amped up and sometimes I'm just like chill, or I could talk
Mhm.
like not talk at all. So it's about knowing your personality and understanding it and not trying to be somebody else. Because I think that's
Yeah.
what makes it hard too to show up consistently online if you're pretending to be like these other people are.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. Like you'll never see me scream on a stage. I mean, that's cool and fun to watch. It's just gonna feel, it's gonna look weird if I do it. And I know there's a lot of like influencers are like, hey, everybody, ah, and I'm just like, okay, that's a lot. But
Yeah,
yeah, I do think that
yeah,
there are a lot of it has to be a right personality fit as well. So, yeah, definitely agree with you there. And there is power in introversion too, because we're both introverts. So it doesn't mean that you're shy. It doesn't mean that you're scared. It just means where you put your energy. So, I can do speeches. I can be on stage. I can be in conferences. I can show up. But then when it's time to go back to my hotel room to just chill out, I'm off. Like people say, oh, well, let's hang out at the bar until 2. Like, no, I'm off. So, it's
yeah.
just about knowing yourself, knowing your energy levels, and knowing that no, you're fine the way you are.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a great segue, Kim,
Mm-hmm.
because we talked about, social media anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
fears of going live, fears of being like consistent online. But when
Mm-hmm.
you're an introvert, it's also about your energy. And
Mm-hmm.
that's another thing that comes up. And this is even for extroverts. When you are constantly online and you have to engage and you're looking to see if people liked or DM'd you or all of that, that's really draining. I know that's draining for me, right?
Yes.
That is
Mm-hmm.
draining. So then it's like, well, what do you do when you can't physically show up? And this is a great segue into the workshop that Kim and I are
Mm-hmm.
collaborating on, Holiday Promotion Made Easy. Black Friday is coming up. Cyber Monday is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to be online, especially as an online business. You don't have a store, so you can't be like, okay, I'll just have more foot traffic to come in. You actually are the store. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to show up, and there's all this noise on social media. You have to be there, and you can't just post once. You can't
Mm-hmm.
just like show up every now and then. You really have to be there, and that can be not only emotionally draining, it
Mm-hmm.
can be physically draining on you to constantly be there. And that's where Kim comes in. So I'll talk about the mindset of being
Mm-hmm.
confident enough to show up, but Kim comes in with the, well, how do you make it work on
Mm-hmm.
autopilot? How do you automate this thing so that I can actually step out, of the
Mm-hmm.
picture sometime? So talk about what that is.
Yeah, so I'll start with a story. So last December, my cat got sick, and I was just so like I couldn't be there, I couldn't show up, I couldn't do anything, and I had to postpone things that I had planned. But there was still stuff going out on my social media every day. There were still like blog articles I've written, videos that I've done, things that are still valuable. So I call them evergreen because they don't have a date on it. So I really believe I'm a strong proponent of repurposing content. So when I create a piece of content, I'm very mindful of it. Is it evergreen? Like, is it something that can be reused no matter what day or, month or whatever it is? And is it like time based? Like this workshop, we're having it on the 28th. So the content that I'm gonna put out for the workshop is not evergreen. I can't run it until like February because there's a date on it. But there's other things that I can promote that are evergreen, and even stuff that's time bound. So let's say you're doing sales all the way up until Christmas. What you can do is take your lives. You can take a live and you can turn that. You can download your live. You can turn that into a piece of content. You can put on your website. You can transcribe it. You can chop it up. You can actually pay people, Fiverr, Upwork, or something to turn it into something else. And then there's tools and systems that you can use to constantly put it back on your profile and back on your business page. Because I, in 2017, we started, I remember someone saying go live every day or put out a piece of content every day. And that does not mean create something every day, because when you put something out, only like 4%, 10%, I don't know the algorithm exactly because they don't publish it, will see your content. So, you can be like on this content generating machine, only 4% of people see one particular piece of content. So you want to make sure that you are able to get it in front of new people and just keep putting it out there. So to you, it may look like, oh, well, I'm just repeating myself. But to your audience, most of them are seeing it for the first time, and it looks fresh and it looks new. And even if they see it for the second time, is that the worst thing that can happen if they're scrolling by and they see something that they've already seen before? I don't think it's going to ruin their day. So that's also a mindset thing that you got to get over to, is not being afraid to repeat yourself, because it takes about 7 touches or 7 interactions to get somebody to make a buying decision from you. So you constantly have to be kind of in people's faces. And I know, especially if you're an introvert, that sounds like, oh my God, that sounds like out of energy for me. But it's not. Just, I know I'm babbling, but it's like,
no, you're not. No, okay. You're not babbling at all. This is like also what makes people anxious. Mm-hmm. They don't want to feel like they're bugging people, mm-hmm. like posting over and over.
Yes. And, if you just and I encourage people, just look at what's in your inbox, what's showing up, what you're clicking on, what you're responding to. Chances are you've seen that stuff before. Like maybe you've seen a retreat or an event that you go to, maybe you close the email, you're like, oh, I'll look at it later. And then you get another email saying last day or last, 24 hours, and you open it, you buy it or something like that. So the people you're giving money to are already doing it. A good proponent is like Facebook. Maybe you're browsing like a store website, JCPenney or whatever, and then you go on Facebook and you see the thing that you were just looking at. That is intentional, and that is a way that they are keeping their product on top of mind. So I can show you how to do the exact same things too. And it's all technology based, and there's nobody sitting behind saying, let me show Kim this ad. It's all like programmed.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. I love it. I never really heard about automations much in coaching. Mm-hmm. And if you are watching this either live or on the replay, I think this is very valuable for you, because I actually don't know of any coaching programs that I've been in, or even masterminds, mm-hmm. that really talked about automating your content. They talked about creating content, but mm-hmm. not automating it. And I think that is a missing link. Mm-hmm. Because just thinking about having to put out stuff every day and constantly mm-hmm. be showing up all the time and mm-hmm. on multiple platforms, just the thought alone makes people go into mm-hmm. procrastination and avoidance, because they're like, I can't keep up with that. I have maybe a 9-to-5. I have mm-hmm. kids. I have pets that I have to care for, mm-hmm. parents I have to care for. I have a life. I can't do this all the time. So I think it's really a great thing what the services that you're offering, teaching people that and doing that for them, because mm-hmm. it's a missing link that we don't hear much about. Mm-hmm. We are the missing links, Kim. They're not talking about the social media anxiety and the automation. Mm-hmm. And people need that.
Because it sounds really technical. It sounds really complex. Like, okay, I don't have time to set this up. And it sounds expensive, but it doesn't need to be. And I think, and I think just, when you think of automation, you may think of like physical products, brick and mortars, things like that. So, in the service-based business, especially coaching, there is a lot that you guys know, and there's a lot that you guys do that is so valuable that it needs to be repeated, because you can unpack just one topic alone. You could probably get 5 different talks out of that content or out of that topic. For if you're a life coach, a health coach, or whatever coach that you are, you have so much. And so I invite you to really think and unpack one particular topic, make some content out of that, and then just repurpose it, reuse it, and get people to help you to put it into a system so that it shows up constantly, so your pages aren't dead, you're not overwhelmed, you're not stressing out, and just people will respond in their ways. And if they don't like or comment, doesn't mean that they're not watching, and this doesn't mean that they're not paying attention. So you also have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, mm-hmm. definitely. Yeah. So this leads us to talk about holiday promotions made easy. Do you mm-hmm. want to take that away and let them know what's coming up?
Yeah, so this is a workshop on Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern. So Seneca and I will talk about holiday promotion, setting up your systems and your mind for success during the holidays. So a lot of you guys may have digital products like courses, trainings, or maybe you even want to amp up some services to get people ready for 2022. Whatever that looks like for your business, I think that the holidays are perfect because that's when people are paying attention. They're home. You know, it's a busy time, yes, but then some people are just home, like just chilling or waiting for the turkey to come out the oven, whatever the case may be. So, it's a great time to put out some content. And I know I was just speaking to somebody about just using a sales page and a sales cart for some of her products that she wants to promote. And that's something that can be done in literally 15 minutes. On this workshop, I'll show you. So if you're like, well, Kim, I don't have a lot of money, I don't have a lot of time, you can still get stuff out there. I've seen people make a lot of money with very simple things. So don't think that you got to have this latest and greatest, flashiest thing. I can show you how to do that. And then, Seneca will show you how to show up, how to, really position your message and your mind just to kind of say what it is that you do, the benefits that you offer, and to be confident in all of that. And yeah, I think it's going to be great. I mean, I have a lot to share. I will put together a worksheet of resources. So all you have to do is just sit back and listen, and you'll have the notes right there. I'll give it to you. And yeah, it'll be fantastic. So it's this Thursday, October 28th, 6 p.m. Eastern. There will be a replay available. People were asking me about the replay. Yep, we will have a replay. And yeah, I invite you to share as well.
Awesome. So yeah, you heard it. It's coming up in a short few days. I know that on the Conquer Network IG, if you go into my bio and into my link tree, it's the first link. You can register today. Like right now, you can go on my bio, go to the link tree, and click the first link to register. How can they register? How else can they register, Kim?
Yeah, so you can go to my bios or, to my Instagram account. It is Creative Digital Systems. And, I do have the link tree situation sometimes, but sometimes it's lazy and I'll just put the actual link. So you just click the link and it'll take you right in there. And then also, you can follow either book too, says holiday promotions made easy or made simple. I think that's what I called it. Yeah, made simple. So yeah, you can find it there as well.
Awesome. All right. Well, I hope that those of you who joined live or joined on the replay, you got some great feedback. I'm interested to know any questions that you may be having as well, so that I can address it or Kim can address it when we do the workshop. So post if you have a business, what your business is, and do you have any questions about social media anxiety or how to automate your digital systems, how to do your digital marketing if you're in a service-based business. And that's about all I got for now until the workshop. I'm going to start working on it, actually, getting ready.
Yep, I'll be creating my workbook in the next couple of days, and that'll be all ready for you. So don't worry about scribbling down the stuff that I talk about. I'll have it all listed out.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kim, for hopping on. Thank you all for those of you who joined live, and those of you who are watching the replay, thank you as well. Do go ahead and follow at the Conquer Network and Creative Digital Systems. Do give us both a follow and a share. Someone that you know, one of your entrepreneur friends, your business bestie might need this. All right. Peace and blessings. See you soon.
Okay. Bye.